Great afternoon. So I've got cards doing some shuffling here, and I want to pull the cards and look at Trump's spiraling mental state. So he is facing loss of his mental faculties and crossing it, the burdens. Okay, the burdens and his ongoing loss of his mental state, mental cognition. Coming into it about victory. The other side of it, we have mentally blocked. He blocks things to get a victory. We know he goes into fantasy. Above it, again, mental retreat. Oh, no, this is his home life. The home life and what's built. Underneath of it, this is the evidence in hand. So, his life, about his life, the deception, the home life, the deception where he lives. At the heart of it is, again, he puts things in motion to block things in a deception. And this is the burden. He's done this his whole life. Since he's younger, he's done this, but even more so now. It's about control, protecting himself, control, and that's what's under the surface. At the heart of it, the burden causes his ongoing deception. That's how he builds things where he lives, what he's living with, and again, facing loss when it comes to the burdens. So let me get these cards out of the way, make room so I can put down some more cards and see what else says. But this is the way he protects himself. Lie, deny, spin. He lies to himself just as well as everybody else. He goes into fantasy mode and creates the scenario in his mind that he wishes were true versus what is reality. So, let me get the cards, turn them over and see what's underneath of it. More and more as things are overturned, he sees it from a different viewpoint. He turns his back on it. When it comes to the evidence in hand, what's concrete, he just turns his back on it and sees it from a different viewpoint. Okay? He creates his fantasy. So what's being offered up going forward is, again, the takeaway, what he tries to get away with. Mentally, he's creating a different scenario than is there and offering that up. Okay? So, as usual, lie, deny, spin, and just put out there what he wishes it were. Mentally, he's becoming more and more tied up when it comes to the path forward, okay, as he's going into mental retreat. More and more conflicted, mentally retreating as the path goes forward. So we see that his speech has become more limited as well. The swords are coming down. We're looking at the history of this. And again, more and more that this comes out and comes down, the more mentally conflicted he is. Again, same thing as here. mentally restricted. Okay? More and more becoming more and more mentally restricted, mental decline. When it comes to him, his narcissism, message about actions, he will try to put out something else concrete. We have the light about what he's struggling with and the choices he makes in life. When it is a Tower moment, he sheds light on some sort of an emotional thing that he tries to create. Out of that conflict, he wants to convince himself of something better. The world, though, when it comes to new actions, they are getting cut. So he's not able to convince people like he was before. What's up in the air? Friends are looking at what's up in the air, and again, he tries to just emotionally distance from it. When it comes to concrete messages, the cross to bear is the truth. He cannot take any kind of truth. For him, truth is whatever he believes in the moment, whatever fantasy he wants to create. Okay, that's what he wants to tell people the truth is. Total lie and deny. So when it comes to being ruled by emotions, the clock is ticking on this being out in the cold when it comes to anything concrete. Okay? So yeah, he can't deal with emotions. Family life, slow walking, drama, feels pushed to the edge. He's got no regard for his family. It's what they can do for him. He doesn't give really a rat's ass about any of them. Evidence in hand, when it comes to women, this is something he has to juggle. Feeling guarded, toxic, when it comes to sharing anything. He's very toxic. Continues to have these emotional outbursts when he doesn't get his way, like a tantrum, a toddler throwing a tantrum. Okay. What's new, concrete, is some around him may be looking for help with what's being built. Republicans, what's being anchored in are more messages, information coming out. We're looking at his cup of abominations, and people are feeling guarded now with his drama. He continues to try to get away with this stuff done by the dark of night that's painful, mental, physically painful, the takeaway. Okay? He thinks he can have a victory when it comes to storylines that he rapidly wants to invent. In his mind, he's always going to create a victory for himself, even though it's totally delusional. Okay? He could be absolutely facing loss and say it's a victory. He is that mentally deluded. So again, his mental delusion now is crushing. It's a crushing weight, and he's getting more aggressive. More delusional he becomes, the more aggressive and abusing his power will take place. Okay? That's a crushing wheel. So his mental decline is, coming quicker and quicker. There's an agreement, conversations about what's being handed out. They're looking at the direction of what he's trying to sell and pondering it now. Yeah. Get that toy, Lily. You wrestling that toy? She's over there wrestling a toy. Get that toy, Mitt Lily. Yeah, you wrestle it. You get it, Mitt Lily. She's over there spinning in circles. She grabs the toy and she's wrestling it. She's being really funny. Anyway, the strength is more of his conniving, actions that he's doing. So he's becoming even more, again, delusional and conniving in that type of a mindset. So she's, I don't know what she's doing. She's over there spinning in the bed over there at the moment. She's being so funny. But it's showing that his mental decline is getting worse. He's getting more aggressive, more abusive, more delusional, and just convincing himself of some fantasy, and again trying to convince others of his delusion. So on that note, I'll leave that here. What are you doing, Mitt Lily? You're being so silly over there tonight. You're being such a silly girl. You are. Did you wrestle that toy? Did you? Did you wrestle that toy? Yeah, you're a tough girl. You are. She said, I wrestle that toy. I don't know. She's really being funny this evening. She's after something over there. Anyway, on that note, I'll leave that here. And we'll see you online. But yeah, it's coming out. He's, losing his faculties and just going off on tangents. And this mental decline, he's just becoming more in fantasy. Whatever he's seeing is not in any kind of clarity, He's seeing villains where they don't exist, and again, then showing how fabulous he is, that he's trying to convince himself and everyone else. But it's coming from absolute more and more mental decline and delusion. So how long is it going to be before they finally say, look, he is incompetent? So something is coming up. Was it April or June that Dixon was saying, I think, that he's going to have some major type of a health thing. Maybe it's a stroke. Maybe it's, something of that nature coming up in another month or two. And then in around November or so, he will be gone in some way, shape, or form. At least that's the prediction, and she's always been pretty right on the money with things. Now, these predictions were made before she passed. So don't say now, some people came in and said, well, she's dead now. How can she predict? No, these were predictions she made in the end of her life before she passed. These were predictions that she had put out. So on that note, I'll leave that here, and we'll see you online. And I'm going to watch this goofy girl this evening. You're just full of piss and vinegar this evening, Miss Lily. Yeah. Are you showing what a tough girl you are? You wrestled that toy. You did. She said, I did. I got that. This is what she was wrestling. She was wrestling. She's wrestling this stuffed dog. Here it comes. Oh, there comes that bad dog. Oh, my Lily.